Hey, what's up? It's your girl, the Bored MILF, for another episode of the Bored MILF Podcast. I'm bored. Are you bored? Let's talk. So today we're going to talk about having a job or a job that you hate. I know everybody's been there, but have you ever had the perspective like me? I've been at jobs, but not like a lot. You know how some people, it's easy for them to quit. It's never easy for me to quit a job. I get comfortable, and even though I hate it, I stick it out as long as I can. So I haven't had a lot of jobs, but I've been at jobs for a long time. So, a handful or maybe less of a job my whole entire, life working. But anyway, so I've grown to know about myself that I shouldn't be working for anyone, but I also don't know how to be, I guess, work for myself. I get a little bit lazy and don't want to really put in the work, but I feel like I might have to because I really am tired of working for people. But do you ever get the feeling like every single time you hate your job, like it just starts feeling, you start looking with people with disgust and you go and you're mumbling all the time and you just have a really bad, nasty attitude until you leave work? Yeah, that's me. When I walk into a job and I start hating it, first of all, let me double back. When I start a job, it makes me feel um, accomplished that basically I can go to a job that I feel comfortable after the interview and they tell you about what they do there. And it seems like you're really helping people. I really do like helping people. And and what your job function would be as far as helping individuals or helping people, it seems great. And it seems like they're really family knit. They do care about their employees. It's not about, too much of anything else, like the whole politics of work, or whatever. So I do hold companies when they talk to you to try to entice you to come work for them to a higher standard. So when I say holding to a certain standard, what I'm saying is that if you're saying how much integrity and how much understanding your company has for their employees, how you do put your employees first, I really do hold companies to that. And when you say that you really are there to help the people, whatever your business is, and you're there to really help your customers or help your people, um, you know, uh, as far as the services that you provide, I really like it. I really do hold you to that. So it just gets to a point where all that shit gets thrown out the window. And sorry for cursing. I'll try not to curse, but all that gets thrown out the window after a couple of years of working with them. You see all the little tricks, you see all the little, lies that they spew out, how they're really not there for their employees, how they literally act so stingy with their money that they don't give their employees anything, or they don't upgrade certain things, to make their employees comfortable in their facility. And you just start, I just really start to hate the job to a point where it just reminds me of slavery. And I'll explain. When I've been at this job, I've been at jobs where I've been there for years, and it gets to a point where like you hate it so much. Well, I hate it so much that when I walk in, it already feels like a plantation. Like, for instance, I do call center work or have done call center work, and you have headphones that are connected to the desk, the phone, and you feel like a dog. You feel like you're chained up, like, and you have to get permission to get up. You have to get, what I mean, or whatever, or you're always getting, it's just something. And so when I walk in, it feels like a plantation, and I just start seeing it in like slavery time, to where everybody's in, the clothing from back then. You know what I mean? Like, your managers are like the slave masters, or actually like the uppers are the slave masters, and then your managers and supervisors are the house Negroes. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to keep you in line because they got to come and talk to you and tell you, oh, master said you weren't supposed to say that on the phone. And you know what I mean? And you're just like, okay, all right, fine. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And it's just like, are you going to get rid of me? Get rid of me. And also gets to a point where, like, when certain companies have potential investors coming into the facility, and they're walking around, taking a look at the facility, but they're also looking at the employees. It feels like a slave trade of some sort, to where you're, you know, I was sitting at my desk, and, like, what they do is they walk around, or they stand up on this podium type of thing, and it's I don't want to sound racist, but it was like white people, and or men, and they're walking around or looking down at us, and their hands are behind, like, crossed behind their backs, and their hands are crossed behind their backs, and they're just walking around observing, and they're just looking everything and everyone up and down, like, as if, like, oh, this Negro is really strong, or I like this Negro voice, and I like this, they sound like that's how I look at. I'm telling you, I might be crazy, but that's how I look at things. Like, sometimes when I really hate a job, like, you know what I mean. And yeah, I know some of y'all are going to be like, oh, why don't you just quit, why don't you just leave. It's not that easy for some of us to up and quit and leave. We don't all have husbands that's going to take care of us. We don't all have, money saved away to where we could just take some time off and look for another job. We don't all have that. And then on top of that, you don't want to just get no regular job, in place of the one that you have. So you gotta kind of stick it out until you find something that that you might like, or that's going to be financially feasible for you. Like, basically give you enough money to make you'll be able to live off of. Anyway, so it's like they're just walking around and they're looking, and they're, and then one time, I'm sitting, and I'm on the phone, and then they're walking behind the row that I'm in, and my back arches. You know how sometimes I have ADHD, I believe, and so I have conversation coming from left and right. So don't mind me. But you ever been in your house when you were a kid, and you're like the only one home when you're like a little bit older? And like in my house, I would always get scared, like, and I was always being the one home. My mom would be at work, like, and she wouldn't come home until later in the night or the evening. And my twin sister would be like away, chilling with her friends and stuff like that or whatever. And then we have a back porch. So that was like our TV room. And I would be sitting in a TV room, and you just feel like something, a presence or something like that. Like, so, and it just, our basement was scary to me. So sometimes when I had to go downstairs and everybody could be home, and my mom would, oh, go downstairs and get something from the basement. I would run up the steps so fast, my back would be arched, like, because it felt like someone trying to come get me. And the same thing if I had to go upstairs by myself, I'd run down the steps so fast, like, and my back would be arched, like someone's trying to get me. And it's just like, that's the presence that I feel when these investors come in. It's like my ancestors and their ancestors were a thing before, so my ancestors recognize them, and it's like they have a whip, and they're about to beat me. So every time they walk behind me, my back start arching because I feel like they're about to whoop me. Like, this is only because I hate the job and I don't want to be there no more. And I feel like I don't have no other outlet, but I'm just trying to stick it through until something else comes along. So at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? Like, these companies, like, it just really irks me that they lie so much about caring for their employees and caring for the people. And once I start seeing that they're really all about the money, and they don't really care about the product that they're putting out, they don't really care about the issues some of these people are complaining about, and then we're taking the full blow of all of the attitude and the disrespect from these customers. Like, and you don't get paid enough money to mentally be stable enough to keep handling people and their bullshit. And you're supposed to give your best, for whatever. And it's just like, no, fuck you. Like, I can't do this shit no more. You know what I mean? You got people that come in and then immediately get into different positions only because they have a college degree that is not even meant for anything. So you're stuck training them. You know what I mean? You're stuck training them for them to be above you. And like, sometimes you feel like, how much sense does that make? You know what I mean? How much actual sense does that make? And, at the end of the day, like, you just personally just start to hate your job. You start to hate your job. You start seeing that they take money because they keep getting customers, or keep getting investors, and those investors bring business to them, and you're not getting any type of pay raise. But you can decorate the office, or you could decorate, uh, you know, anything a part about any part about the facility. Like, really, and it's just a constant headache when you hate your job. It's a constant headache. And nobody wants to deal with that. But, what else can you really do at this point? I mean, you can start our OnlyFans, but then that takes work because you have to market yourself. This whole world just sucks because everybody act like it's so easy to make money, and it's really not that easy to make the money that they're saying that you make, because it really is a lot. It's hard work, and it's a lot of steps to get to where these people say that they are. So don't fall for the bullshit. It's a lot of marketing strategies. It's a lot of pyramid type strategies where you're in affiliate programs that you bring people in to be underneath you. And then when they make money, you're making money. So duh. You know what I mean? Like, duh, we get that. And I just don't understand, like, like, why do I feel like that? Why do I always feel like I'm a slave, in the sense of actually bringing it back to slavery back then? Like, why do I feel that way? And why does my back arch? Like, does anyone else ever get that feeling like you just have to, like, move yourself away from somebody because you feel a presence of their ancestors? You feel like they're about to do something to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why I feel like that. I don't understand why I get like that. It's crazy to me. But I know it's not that big of a long episode, but I hope you enjoyed it, and look out for another episode. Again, this is your girl, the Bored MILF. I love you, my boardies. Thank you. Remember, when I'm bored and you're bored, let's talk.